In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, to whom we all have to turn be. Honorable listeners and respectable audience, you know that we have started a series of linguistics. In linguistics, we have commenced the chapter that is known as translation studies. Today, the topic which I have selected for you, it is very interesting. And our topic is the scope of translation studies. What is the scope of translation studies? What does a translator, he or she learns in translation studies, and how he can get specialization in translation studies? Listeners and audience, whenever we are talking about the scope, first of all, we must know about this term, because few students, they are not aware about the scope word. Scope means the limit, the strength, the extensiveness of a translation studies. Any field it refers to. Here I'm talking about translation study. So I said that the strength, the wideness, or the boundary of any field. So here we are talking about to how much translation study is extensive. What are the areas we cover in translation studies, and what are the areas our translator he gets specialization regarding that. But very important point here is that a translator, he cannot get all the subjects at all the, because it is extensive field, so all the ingredients cannot be specialized by a translator. He just connects himself to one or the two fields in translation studies, because for each and every level extensive words, vocabulary, understanding and proper knowledge is required. So let me come to the topic. In translation studies, when we are talking about its scope, the first important point we have here at its scope, that is literary translation. You know, in literary translation, like we have, for example, novel, drama, story, short story, novella, and other scripts. A translator works whenever he or she is interested in translation study. Like for example, some translators, they are interested in novel, so they translate novel from the source text into the target text, and they get interest and also curiosity and specialization regarding that. Secondly, we have non-literary text, non-literary translation. In non-literary translation includes like essay, speeches, anecdotes, events, accidents, and many more, like writing letters. Thirdly, legal translation or judicial translation. In legal translation or judicial translation, a translator, he studies and knows about or working getting specialization regarding, for example, treaties, contracts, courts documents, law, constitutions, and many more. Connected to this, we have medical, scientific, and commercial translation. You know, the words and the terms of medical related to translation studies are also difficult. Yes, it is not only required information related to translation studies, but also information related to medical terminology, because one is normal terminology, general terminology, and another is medical terminology. So the words and vocabulary of medical is different from normal English. So that type of knowledge is required for a translator. Similarly, scientific documents, medical transcriptions. When we have, for example, prescriptions, whenever a doctor prescribes something in one language, they are translated from the source text into the target. So prescriptions, medical documents, and other related documents related to, for example, some informations are translated, some prescriptions are translated from source text into the target for a spatial understanding. But careful, meticulous understanding for a translator is required to convey the intended message. And then we have religious translation, the sacred translation, very important one. For religious translation, not only the knowledge related to the source text and the target text is required, also religious knowledge is very significant and important. Otherwise, the translator will mislead other people, and the intended, the correct, and the real message will not be properly conveyed, and he or she will mislead the people. And then we have business and commercial translation. Business and commercial translation includes like advertisement, brochures, marketing campaign, companies profiles, and many more. So hope that this topic is clear to you. Thank you.